And now we're back, and we've got Michael Shawn Cordero joining us. He's also known as the Conscious Hustler, and he's also a creative producer in his work. But where did that term Conscious Hustler come from?
People started referring to me as the Conscious Hustler just because, I have my hand in so many creative things that, it was kind of hard to gauge what I did. Mm-hmm. So they just started calling me Hustler. Mm-hmm. And, hustler kind of has like a negative connotation to it. So, that design was kind of like about that, like I think we are all kind of like the new generation of hustlers. Mm-hmm. And I think there needs to be a kind of reinvention of it, mm-hmm. as opposed to like what people are used to it meaning.
Yeah. So what are some of the things then that you're hustling these days? What are because as a creative producer, it sounds like you put your hands with different projects. You also maybe spearhead some of your own. Mm-hmm. What are the primary things you have going on right now?
Right now, primarily, I'm working on a web series called Willy B.
Okay.
Producer on that series, and it's a comedic take on a lot of social issues going down in the neighborhood of Bushwick. Mm-hmm.
Which is in Brooklyn for those that aren't familiar.
Which is in Brooklyn, New York, yes. Specifically like things like gentrification and things like that.
So it is going to be a fictional take. It's not a documentary, but it's going to be bringing out real issues that do exist.
Yeah. It's definitely that, but we also have like a series attached to it that is more documentary style about, the neighborhood of Bushwick and some of the community members speaking about the changes and what's going on attached to it. So it's a really like viral kind of project. Mm-hmm. It exists on the web. It's going to be short, webisodic episodes that people could catch every week. Okay. And then there's got a lot of extras and interviews and stuff like that that kind of deal with what the show is about. Okay,
very cool. Yeah, I know that the description that was on there, it says hip, funny, creative, and fresh. Willy B is reminiscent of a Latin Cheers crossed with Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. Yeah. So that sounds like it'll be a little interesting. Yeah. So that's debuting on April 13th, correct?
Yes.
All right, so people can be checking back, and it's eastwillyb.com.
Yep.
That you got going on. Okay, so that sounds like a cool project. Hope all of you will be tuning in for that. In a second, we're going to come back, and we're going to get to talk to both Michael and Jullien about their collective MVMT and what they're doing together. So that'll be back in just a second. All right, so we're back, and now we're joined with both Jullien and Michael, and they're going to talk about their work with MVMT, which is a really cool collective. I've seen some of the work that you've put out, and you have like these goal guides, and you have get-togethers, and it just seems like a really cool concept in terms of bringing together people to support each other and getting your goals forward. So can one of you tell me about the actual mission of MVMT, where the idea came from, how it all got started?
Okay. MVMT started kind of just, it already had begun before we kind of put like a name to it or whatever. A lot of the people that we move with and that we work with were doing just awesome creative things. And, we wanted to spread that out and help more people engage more communities and stuff like that. So MVMT started first as kind of like a marketing kind of business development. Right now, it's kind of like a collective of all these different entrepreneurs, organizations that really push community forward, and they grow their community. So that's where we are. Okay. And does MVMT stand for anything in particular, or is that just the name for it? That's kind of just like the name for it. Movement. It represents movement. It represents movement.
And so, what are some of the projects that you put together as this collective?
One of the big ones we do annually is MVMT Brunch. We just did our third MVMT Brunch in January, and that's where we just gather people at the beginning of the year just to set the year off right. We've done it nationally where people are gathering community. Mikey said earlier, grow community first. That's what we're committed to, and that's the highest principle that we have as a guide to liberation for MVMT. So we really seek to grow community, and what came out of that this year was the MVMT guide for 2011, which was the goal-setting guide you referred to, that hundreds of people have downloaded and used to start their year off right and set goals in their personal lives, their financial lives, their community, their health, spirituality, education. It's just a real holistic tool to help you just set your year off right. And it's available, it's still available at mvmt.com/guide. You can start now, even though
it doesn't have to be the new year.
It doesn't have to be the new year. Your new year year starts whenever you want it to start. So it's a tool that we'll continue to develop as we learn in terms of how it's impacted people. We're going to come back to it at some point in the year, probably at the halfway mark, to check in, see where people are at, and see how we can help them in their personal MVMTs get to where they're trying to go.
Nice. And I think one thing that I do want to highlight with that guide in particular was the fact that it's actually really cool. Like, there are little anecdotes in there, you know, like what's your theme song for the year, and you know, just kind of your mantra. Like, it has a lot of these things where you get to put your personal flavor. So it's not just the regular, just kind of like, oh, okay, what's goal number 1, goal number 2. Like, there's real flavor to it, right?
Yeah, I mean, what we really want to do is set examples of what communities should be. So, you know, that's why we start with ourselves first. So we created this community called MVMT, and we move with each other. We help each other out whenever it's needed. We work with each other, and we love doing that. So that's kind of like setting an example of what a broader community should be. And that's, I think people are very disconnected to the communities. So bringing that aspect back into people's lives is what we're trying to set examples for.
Okay.
And we believe in this notion of peer profit. Like, when I make money, I hope that Mikey can make money too. Like, this notion of success as individuals, you get into some place faster than everybody else. Well, you get there faster than everybody else, and you're there alone. Right? So we're really committed to this notion of family and peer profit. And family is this concept of bringing your friends into your family. You know, notions of family are changing nowadays, and this my brother, you know, and Julie is my sister, and Khalil's my brother, and even if we weren't doing work together, we would still have a relationship. And so here we are, these friends coming together, not only to be friends, but also to do positive things together and to build businesses and impact the world.
Okay. Well, and I think it's a cool model that hopefully just people who hear about it some more just kind of choose to take the concept for themselves kind of wherever they are. And it sounds like the brunches that you do where you can stream in now or kind of have your own group helps to encourage that, because I feel like it's a really great concept. We need more of that community building that also propels the individual forward. So that's really cool. Well, you can find out more information about MVMT at mvmt.com, correct? Y'all are on Twitter as well, and so you can get the Facebook, all the social media networks. Got that down, and I definitely recommend downloading the guide. We'll actually make a link for that on the website at knowthis.tv as well, so you can catch that and get your goals going for, I guess, the remainder of the year. We're already a quarter through, can't believe it. Right. So but never too late to start, like you said. So I think that's all that I got for you all. Thanks for spending all this time with me, individually and collectively. So we're going to close out, with the inspiring quote, because I feel like it is important to walk with some words of wisdom.
So for me, this actually came from one of my brothers at MVMT, Alan, and he said that not knowing where you're going is the only way to get to somewhere you've never been. And so that was actually my quote of the year for my MVMT guide. And so I've been riding on that and really living this life out of control, and not out of control as in crazy, but allowing my spiritual source to kind of guide my life and releasing what I think is right and letting things manifest as they should.
Okay, nice. I like that one. All right, follow that. No, it's
I like to live by this Cesar Chavez quote: "We cannot seek achievement for ourselves without forgetting about the progress of our communities."
So both of you, great people, great individuals. I'm excited to see your work continue and grow. And again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So if you didn't know about MVMT, about the conscious hustler, the purpose finder, I'm going to have to come up with a name for myself now.
The interviewer.
The interviewer is what Jullien is passed on to me. So if you didn't know about them, now you know. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.